View Park in Sourfield for tonight's district matchup between the Great Crossing Lady Warhawks and the Frankfort High School Lady Panthers. Your starting lineup for
It's
the
October
Panthers
and
is
we're at
number 3
Sauer
senior
Soccer Field, and that can only
Ella
mean one thing. The 41st District Tournament is getting ready to get underway.
Number 7
Frankfort
junior
High
Margaret
taking on Great
Wilkerson.
Crossing in Game 1 of the girls' side of the tournament. We'll have all the action for you
Number
coming up
9
here on the
junior
Cable
Mia
10 Game of the Week.
Number 10 senior Rebecca Vaught. Number 11 senior Sawyer Shaw. Number 12 sophomore Lily Wainscott. Number 13 junior Jalea Hatchett. Number 17 freshman Kaylee Curry. Number 19 freshman Emily McClavick. Number 33 freshman Cora Anglin. And in the goal for the Panthers, number 35 sophomore Rachel Nichols. Your starting lineup for the Warhawks is number 21 senior Camry Smith. Number 29 senior Brooklyn Couch. Number 11 junior Gracie Gordon. Number 3 sophomore Seton Hawkinsmith. Number 12 sophomore Cameron Crump. Number 7 sophomore Tori Skaggs. Number 20 sophomore Meredith Turner. Number 33 sophomore Olivia Knopfsinger. Number 10 freshman Kaylee Tyson. Number 32 freshman Julia Baker. And in the goal for the Warhawks is number 35 junior Kamora Tillman. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise, remove your hat, and direct your attention toward the American flag. The privilege of this game was made possible by those who have fought and continue to fight for the freedoms we enjoy today. Let us honor and respect their efforts and our country with the playing of our national anthem. The National Federation of High Schools and Kentucky High School Athletic Association require officials to enforce sportsmanship rules. High school.
Call David Toll's Auto Pro for all your automotive needs.
Don't let your car keep you from making important plans. Take it to David Toll's Auto Pro, 515 Duncan Road and 1348 Versailles Road.
Game of the Week is brought to you by David Toll's Auto Pro. You're in good hands with David Toll's Auto Pro. Bring your vehicle to us for the best repairs in the Frankfort area. 2 locations at 1348 Versailles Road and 515 Duncan Road. And check us out at davidtollsautopro.com.
We depend on the internet for so much these days, but not all Kentuckians have access to reliable broadband service. That's why Kentucky Farm Bureau joined the American Connection Project, and we now provide free Wi-Fi access from the parking lots of nearly 200 KFB locations across the state. You see, Kentucky Farm Bureau does more than just insure homes and autos. We help ensure that more Kentuckians stay connected. Kentucky Farm Bureau, big on commitment.
Welcome back to what is a beautiful, quite warm night here in October here at our state's capital at Sauer Soccer Field, where we're getting ready to kick off the 41st District Tournament. Alongside David Daly, I'm John Piesheimer, and on behalf of the entire Cable 10 crew, we are so happy to be bringing you 41st District Tournament action again, starting off as we've got our opening kickoff here. Great Crossing in the blue, coming to take on the hosts, Frankfort High, wearing the white, moving right to left as you see them on your screen.
Yeah. And it's at this time, John, you enter into district play, even though the season and the records might indicate that Great Crossing is in a catbird seat. You kind of toss records out the window. Anything can happen. We are now in district play, and the tournament is wide open.
Yeah, and another thing is we have some early action here. Nice footwork there. Having little trouble making out the numbers on the Lady Warhawks jerseys, so bear with us. We'll do the best we can. But one thing going up and down this roster for Great Crossing, I noticed, David, is that not a whole lot of seniors on this team.
No, it's they are loaded pretty well with underclassmen, and that's always bodes well for the future.
But none the worse for wear as we've got an early shot and a save that time. Shot with the left foot coming out from the left side. But it does seem to be working for them. If you look at the 11th region, so far in district play, Great Crossing undefeated in the region, 6-4. That is good enough for 6th place going into the postseason. So not really showing much worse for wear. And if you look down Great Crossing statistics here, we've got some decent players that have really kind of shown their stuff this season. Kaylee Tyson leading the way with 17 goals. That's an average of over a goal a game, 2 assists on the season for her. She will be wearing number 10. Trying to pick out where she's playing. It looks like she's kind of on the left wing, and that's her with the ball, I think, right there as she plays it into the middle. Great Crossing trying to do a little business here.
Tori Skaggs, a sophomore, she's playing that central midfield. Nice work by her sophomore Rachel Nichols. Came out of the net right there about the 6-yard box. Made a play on the ball, and it is going to be a direct kick.
I think there were 3 people, David, who saw that through ball. Rachel Nichols was one of them, luckily, for Frankfort.
Saw that coming through. She got off her line real quick and was able to shut that down.
To get a look at Frankfort High, getting ready to take this free kick. Frankfort High, a little bit of, with all due respect, a bit of a step backwards. They had shown a little bit more in this tournament last year. They did manage to play Great Crossing all the way to the end of that game in the opener of last year's tournament. 6-0 was the final, but when these 2 teams took each other on, as you alluded to earlier, it was a mercy rule game. It's Great Crossing on the attack here again.
Nice job. Frankfort right side, that right back stepped up and just picked off the nice pass. Good read.
That's a fantastic through ball, though. Coming out to Seton Hawkinsmith, number 3, and she puts one just wide of the left post. Tried to dink it past the keeper there and just could not get enough off on it, but great attacking that time.
A little left-footed inside strike.
Now let's take a look at this. Some nice footwork by Seton Hawkinsmith there, the sophomore, and I think she was just trying to get a little bit of bend and didn't get enough of it, but Great Crossing threatening again.
Hawkinsmith is a second leading scorer for Great Crossing. I think she got 8 goals on the year. Nichols was there. She's in good position. She forced that ball to play a little bit wide.
Hawkinsmith, footwork there to try to get a little bit of space for a shot. Frankfort High's back line under pressure early, as we kind of anticipated would be the case coming into this game.
And generally speaking, what you're going to do if
nice one-handed save there by Nichols.
Nichols punched that one out for the first corner kick of the game. It's going to be going to Great Crossing.
And that
nice
was
save.
number 11 there for Great Crossing. That was...
Oh, it was a little in-swinger coming in. Nichols got a paw on it.
Gracie Gordon, number 11, taking the right-footed shot. And the cross comes in. It's kind of narrow. Sails all the way across the face of goal. Great Crossing still alive here. Hawkinsmith chips one just wide right.
Ball sails across the end line. That'll be a goal kick for the Panthers.
Frankfort High really struggling early to get a little bit of possession here.
Yeah, they're just, you know, what you should do is you're going to look at it as a coach. You're going to sit back and play a little bit more defense. You're going to look for the opportunity to maybe strike and push the ball forward on a counterattack. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to frustrate the opponents a little bit and slow them down.
Here comes Great Crossing.
Pack that box in a little bit. You're going to force them to take long shots. So far, Nichols has responded well.
Hawkinsmith was kind of trying to create a little space for herself with her left foot. Here comes Great Crossing again. A shot from distance. That's going to go well wide.
You call it an ambitious strike.
Ball rolls past the end line. Another goal kick for the Panthers.
Goal kick for Frankfort High School. We're in the 35th minute. District play here, opening up the tournament. Frankfort High School hosting Great Crossing.
And make sure you stay with us after this game. We'll have the boys. We've got Frankfort High, the winners of the All-A Classic this year in soccer, taking on Franklin County. So you don't want to miss that. Great Crossing on the attack here again. That is Tyson, right-footed shot just wide of goal.
Well struck. Well struck ball. See it on replay.
Nice job, nice
pulls
control.
It across, sets it up. She's looking for the far post.
Almost got there.
That's what you're talking to the players about. When you're shooting, you're going to shoot across the goal face. You're going to play for the far post. And that's generally where you're going to find the goals. Got a throw for Frankfort.
So David, as a former coach, you coached at, it was Meade County, correct?
In Meade County, yes, sir.
Yeah, so as a former coach, I'm sure at some point you went up against a team kind of like the situation Frankfurt's in right now, where they've got a little bit of a, you know, I think just the way these seasons have gone and the way this game went last time, you know Great Crossing has a lot of attacking firepower and you're going to have to do a lot of defending. How do you psych your team up for a game like that? How do you set them up?
Yeah. Honestly, you know, I would talk to my players and just say, here's the opportunity to build for next year. Seniors, you guys have stuck with us, great leadership. Underclassmen, y'all are going to step up. This is where we start our season next year. Let's start off with a solid game here.
There's a right-footed shot. That is our first goal of the game. That is Tyson. She got the first one in. She did a great job with some really, really nice touches there. A lot of great technical play by Kaylee Tyson. Gets it on her right foot, gets about an inch of space, and if you look at their stat line over the season, you know that that is all she needs to put it in the back of the net. 1-0 is the score.
17 goals for her for the season.
Yeah, that's impressive. That was a nice shot.
That's a well-struck ball. But what you do is, you know, you're still going to talk to your players. You're going to say, let's build from this. Regardless of what scores, let's keep playing hard. Let's play strong. Let's put our best foot forward, and let's build from there. We're going to keep on moving forward. Sun's going to come up tomorrow regardless of what happens, so we're going to play hard.
One thing I've noticed already is as soon as Great Crossing loses the ball, they snap into action. They're pressing high. They're keep getting in those passing lanes and really just keeping Frankfort High, keeping their shape so wide across the field and keeping their players unable to really make those short passes and to have a little bit of possession.
Absolutely, and that's, you know, it's that one-touch, two-touch quick play, playing in open space. And whenever Frankfort has to chase, it's hard for them to transfer from that defensive mindset and then transfer into that offensive set.
Exactly.
We do have a throw-in for Frankfort down here in the attacking third, moving into Great Crossing territory.
Here's the throw-in by Frankfort. Frankfort High couldn't keep possession for long, but ball finds its way to the midfield. Clearing that for Frankfort High was believe that was Jalea Hatchett, or maybe it was Kaylee Curry.
There you go.
Oh, nice job there.
Good pressure, nice pressure.
Frankfurt High might have something going here. And they'll have a throw.
Played out. He's got a throw on the far side. That's very, very good pressure from Frankfurt High School. Mia Kennett. Nice pressure from the junior. Forces the center back for Great Crossing to make a poor play. Played the ball out of bounds. Throwing into the box.
Emily McClavick on that throw, not able to find a fellow Panther. Great Crossing now trying to work for the back. It's the first time we've seen him do that so far in this game. Here come the Lady Warhawks. The through ball is well cut out that time by number 19. I believe that's Emily McClavick, and Frankfurt High's got something going here. They're on the break, trying to sprint and get there.
Nice pressure.
Yeah, nice pressure, and made a dangerous clearance, and they get a corner for it.
Force the first corner. Frankfurt's going to pick this one up. Let's see if they can't capitalize on a set piece.
1-0 your score if you're just joining us. Great Crossing scoring in about the 7th minute of the game on that shot by Kaylee Tyson, but Frankfurt High has a chance to even up the score here. Stepping up to take this corner.
Kaylee Curry, freshman, she's going to serve the ball up.
Not a bad cross.
Well done. Right at the top of the 8, right top of the 6, or right top of the 18.
And here's the problem with that, committing so many bodies forward. Great Crossing is now able to break, and this is where they're so dangerous. What a play there by Hawkinsmith. She's got a great chance to score here, carrying it on her right foot. Tried to cut it back. That was a nice job of recovery there by the Frankfurt High defense. Had to run all the way across the field to knock that one out.
That was well done. Yes, well done. She shepherded the ball straight back in there, forced an overtouch. Ball rolled in nice and easy. Nichols scooped it up. Nice play.
That's just an effort play there by number 12, Lillian Wainscott, the sophomore defender.
Sophomore, yeah. Oh,
but Great Crossing strikes quickly again. And that is number 32 for Great Crossing with the right-footed shot, I believe. That's Julia Baker, the freshman fullback, doing it all there.
The 30th minute.
Let's take a look at this.
Great Crossing goes up 2-0.
Yeah, she was away on goal that time. None of the Panthers were able to get there, and really, at that point, the keeper for Frankfurt High, Rachel Nichols, is just kind of dead to rights, and you know, any kind of ball placed just to the left or right of the keeper is going to score there.
Sitting on her front porch, sending that one behind the net. Great Crossing needs a setup coming through the middle. Nice pickup.
There's the through ball out to the
defensive right side, sitting next to the 18. Well done. Anticipated the cross. Ball was cleared out of the 18. Great Crossing sets up, serves the ball in to Nichols, scoops it up, little chip and catch.
And you'll see Great Crossing do that. I remember last year they did like to really test the keeper in a lot of different ways and just kind of invite that goalkeeper to maybe have some heavy hands, heavy legs, make a mistake, and then you're able to pounce on the rebound.
Absolutely. There's a good little pressure right there in midfield. Frankfurt putting a little run together. Great Crossing intercepted and picked it off.
There's Seton Hawkinsmith trying to carry the ball and switch fields here with their feet, and she's able to do it. Tried to lay that one out and led her winger just a little bit too much with that pass, but Great Crossing just still very, very active on and aggressive on the Frankfurt High side of the field.
You know, John, you alluded to it earlier about Great Crossing's youth. Their 3 leading scorers are 2 sophomores and a freshman, and they account for 32 goals between the 3 of them. It's a pretty impressive youth program.
And I will say for Frankfurt High, they have split the goals kind of similarly. Sawyer Shaw, number 11 out there, the senior, as we get another shot from Great Crossing that just hits, looked like the back of a Lady Panther. But Frankfurt High also spreading the goals around a little bit. Kaylee Curry, the leading scorer, the freshman, And then Sawyer Shaw with 7 goals of her own and 4 assists, so she leads the team in assists and second in goals.
And Frankfort also does have a large number. Frankfort's dressing out 7 freshmen, 3 sophomores, 4 juniors, and 5 seniors. So there's a nice crop of freshmen coming in. You like to be up in that 7, 8, 9 per grade class. Creates a nice blend for the team. But right now, John, I have not seen any quit. Frankfort High School, they are fighting and they are not going to quit. They're going to keep battling through here, trying to force Great Crossing out of the box.
And that is going to be a corner for Great Crossing. Nice job there by.
That was Julia Hatchett. Played the ball out of bounds into a corner, though. So this will be the second corner for Great Crossing. See if they can do anything with that.
Thanks for picking me up there, David. I was looking at the wrong roster.
Yes, sir. I looked there real quick myself. I've got these old eyes and left my glasses at home.
Ball comes in from Meredith Turner for Great Crossing. Headed out. The one-time shot is whiffed on by Great Crossing that time. Ball still alive. Trying to find its way in.
But good marking. There you go. Coming off your line. Rachel Nichols scoops it up. She anticipates that. Well done defensively by Frankfort High School.
And you said it, David, still a lot of effort on the defensive side of the ball by that Frankfort High back line, but you know, we're just a little bit under 15 minutes in. When you get about 10 more minutes into those legs, that would be the worry that you start to see them react a little bit slower, just getting a little bit fatigued. And when you've got a team that's as deadly on the attack as Great Crossing is, it could get out of hand really quickly.
And that's, you know, kind of back to last year, you know, we always talked about there's the first 5, last 5. That's what you always worried about whenever you're starting. You start each half. It's the first 5 minutes. That's where the big scoring opportunities come about, as well as the last 5. So internationally, when you look at it, the first 5, last 5 for each half are always generally going to be the dominant scoring times.
I think at my point right now of physical fitness, I could give you I'd give you a pretty good first 2. Yeah. Then we're getting a little deep into the tank for me. I don't know if I've got it in me.
I could make one halfway jog down the end of the field, I think.
Hey, if you're a line judge, that's all you have to do.
Yeah.
Of course, just kidding with our line judges here. Everybody, we're glad that we have officials out here to help us out with this tournament, and the people that organize the tournament. We want to thank everybody for coming together. It's a really fun occasion that we have out here. We did it at Franklin County last year back at Sauer Soccer Field, and I'm going to stop my soliloquy here because Great Crossing is on the attack again. Seton Hawkinsmith still with it. That time it's cleared, but right to a Warhawk. Still on the attack, and that is a fantastic finish with the left foot. Frankfort High just could not clear the ball out of danger, and that is number 24 for Great Crossing with the goal there. Meredith Turner, the sophomore, her second of the game.
She ripped that ball quick.
Excuse me, I believe that's her first of the game.
First of the game, yes.
What a finish that is. She was leaning back. It's hard to get enough torque on that to get it into the goal. Take a look at this again. Excuse me, that was Kaylee Tyson. Yeah, that would be Kaylee Tyson's second goal of the game. So I have the total right. I just did not have the player correct. The sun is going down a little bit here at Sauer Soccer Field, so hopefully it's not going to be as much of a challenge to see the numbers on the back of those jerseys here in a couple of minutes.
The sun does make it a little bit tough.
3-0 Great Crossing on that second goal from Kaylee Tyson. They're threatening again. Seton Hawkinsmith wants to double her money here too, but she cannot get free, and that one is wrapped up by Rachel Nichols in the goal for Frankfort High.
Big bounce. Picked up, controlled by Great Crossing midfield. Midfield is laid out. Takes it to the right forward. Nice layoff to the midfielder, number 7 for Great Crossing, Margaret Wilkerson.
That's one thing I will say in Frankfort High, trying to clear it out here. Nice job that time.
Well done.
But one thing I will say for the Great Crossing, on the offensive side of the ball, when they're attacking, they have a definite purpose, and they know exactly what they're trying to accomplish at any given time. There's a lot of purpose to the way they're throwing bodies around.
And they move well without the ball. They move well to open space. Nice pickup by Rachel Nichols there on a long shot struck from about 25 yards out, just outside the 18. She can pick it up and drive a punt to midfield. Ball was well struck. Took kind of a little odd little skip and bounce, and she reacted to it. That was from Gracie Gordon, sophomore midfielder. She pulled the trigger on that one and took a little hop skip on this dry grass.
Rachel Nichols averages, I believe, a little over 11 saves per game, and she might have hit that number here in the first half.
Yes. Yeah, she's 11.7 saves per game. 176 saves on the season, 76 goals allowed.
That one's going to
Ball
run
goes
out.
out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for the Panthers.
And I believe they're going to make her take that throw again.
And Miklovic's going to pick it up and
probably just really wants to get the ball up the field, which is something that the Panthers have really not been able to do so far. Nice stop that time. Some great skill and a nice layoff.
Nice solid defense. That was number 12, Sawyer Shaw, stepped up and played some solid D right there.
Yeah, Sawyer Shaw there in the midfield is really just having to kind of do a yeoman's work out there, because she's
covering some territory.
She's having to drop back and help defend, and when Frankfort High does manage to get the ball on the Great Crossing side of the field, she's got to kind of just do a wind sprint almost to get back in position. So she's really putting in the work out there. Here's the attack down the right side again. Seton Hawkinsmith able to keep it in. Lays it off with the left foot that time. Nice little move there by
chip.
Number 12. That's Cameron Crump.
All the way across. That's going to roll right out for a throw in.
Ball goes out of bounds.
Right over the
for the Panthers.
Touchline.
Almost.
Oh, she bounced. I did not realize that bounced off the top of that crossbar.
Yeah, I think the angle of the sun kind of got us on that one.
Yeah.
That would have been a highlight reel goal there by Cameron Crump.
Because I thought the ball was going to be rolled, was just going to play across the touchline, be a goal kick, but next thing you know, it's heading out to toward the sideline.
Looks like we're going to have our first substitution of the game, as we've got a couple of Warhawks coming in. That is number 6 for Great Crossing, Emma King, coming in. We've got a whole lot of Warhawks putting on the yellow trainers and getting ready to take a breather. And Great Crossing up 3-0, and really, if not for how hard Frankfort High is playing on defense, it could have been a lot more.
Could have been, yes. Well, and just you saw that last play there, that ball struck off the crossbar.
Looks like we might have one more here, and that's going to be an easy goal that time. Yeah. Right in front of goal. That
right
is
on the
number
6.
6.
That's going to be a hard one to stop.
That is Emma King, who just came into the game, scoring number 4 for Great Crossing. Let's take a look at the replay here, and it's just an unlucky bounce there off of number 7 for Frankfort High. Margaret Wilkerson not able to clear it out, and it just falls right into the path of Emma King on the bounce. And
she's a one touch, set up, and she pulled it to the left.
A little bit of hesitation there by the Panthers, and Emma King did not hesitate. She had time to kind of settle the ball and pick her spot, basically.
The 20th minute.
And now we've got 20 minutes into the game. Great Crossing really just starting to establish and widen that lead. This is maybe a little bit of danger time for Frankfort High. Nice stop there. Emily McClavick coming in to put a foot into that one.
If Frankfort can hang tough, John, and maybe not see this lead stretch any further, then they may be able to walk into the second half and find a little bit of bright spot. They have had a couple runs, but in the net for Great Crossing, they have not been tested. Tillman, Cameron Tillman, just not been tested at all.
Yeah, Frankfort High, they've done a lot of courageous defending, but unfortunately just have not been able to produce anything on the other side of the field. I don't even think they have a shot period, much less a shot on target. So
no. They've had a couple little runs. They've had a couple little moves in that direction, but it was a pretty tough battle. The hard part, like I said, is you're stuck back. You're playing defense. You're in your third of the field. It's a hard transition to get out and get that attack 100 yards downfield, and you're sitting back inside your own 18.
Great crossing now with a couple of the bench players trying to get everybody a little bit of clock here, make sure everybody eats. That's a right-footed shot that goes wide for Olivia Knopfsinger, the sophomore.
Substitution on for the Panthers.
For a great crossing. Again, great crossing, so good with the ball at their feet, just able to go wherever they want with it. We've got a substitution coming on for Frankfort High. Jalea Hatchett coming back into the game. The junior, you see right there, number 13. There's a ball over the top, and I think if Frankfort High is going to get anything headed towards that goal, that's how it's going to have to happen.
Yeah, we're going to have to send something long and try and split the defense and maybe catch them up top, catch them on a dead run.
Yeah, get it to your players.
Send it long.
Get it to your players with speed up top if you can.
For the Panthers.
Got another player, Riley Cecil, in the game, the seniors. So the seniors for this Frankfort High team, we've got Ella Stumbo, number 3, number 10, Rebecca Vaught there. You see the senior along with Riley Cecil and
Sawyer Shaw,
and there's one more senior on the roster, Abigail Biggs. Great crossing on the attack again.
Nice job stepping up, picking that pass coming on a through ball, anticipating that effort.
Another thing you start to see, and this is speaking from it's a little bit speculative on my part because this is speaking from, and I'll save that for later, is great crossing attacking here. Frankfort High able to clear it. One thing I notice is that we get deeper into this half, and we've kind of talked about how you had to do a lot of defending, tired legs become a thing. You start seeing that not so much in the ability to get to a ball, but once you get to the ball as the defender, as a fullback, those clearances where you're just trying to put the ball on the other side of the field, they don't cover as much ground as they did at the beginning of the game. It's just hard to really get much leg behind it and get yourself set up. You're just trying to get anything out that you can.
Yep, you wind up you also rush yourself. You get yourself, you feel a little bit stressed and you feel like you have to push it too hard, and you don't strike the ball as well. You don't strike it as clean. But that's kind of where you just build on it. You talk about building, and you build on next year. So next year starts right here. This next season begins here with this play, with the experience that some of the younger players are going to get. You see the captain's armband there on number 10, Rebecca Vaught for Frankfort, and she's going to try and pull this team through and try to lead them still along with the other seniors.
So as a coach, how do you kind of combat that when you have a team that kind of win the ball, when they're being attacked? How do you keep a defense calm and keep them from making preventable errors like that? Because they are under a lot of pressure. They're trying. It's not just about clearing the ball out and getting the ball. You don't want to do something wrong. You don't want to mishit something. You don't want to give up a penalty. How do you? What do you instill in that back four to try to get them to kind of maybe keep their head in a situation like that?
3 things. You try to focus on 3 things. Number 1, you don't want to let them turn the ball. If you force them to make a negative play, force them to make the ball backwards, don't let them turn. Stay calm. Keep yourself between the defense, between the attacker and the goal, and then just try to position off ball and anticipate. So just try to focus on those 3 basic things again. Just because it's going to be the 3 things you've been talking about all year. And that's what good teams do. It's really not complex. They just do those very simple things. They do them very effectively. Time will come, and it'll just get better and better with time. Like I said, you've got a young club with Frankfort, and they're going to continue to grow.
And it seems like in one of those situations when you're having to basically be on the attack a lot of it is communication. A lot of it is talking to each other and making sure you're covering the spot where the other person's leaving open.
Correct, yes. as you leave the space, you're going to create a void, and you can fill that void. You know, Frankfurt's got, 14 of 19 players are underclassmen, then they're going to be back. So
that is
a good opportunity.
Sorry to interrupt you there. That was our first offside of the game, and I got to take issue with that one. I think great crossing. Of course, we are a little bit biased towards the Frankfurt High teams being a Frankfurt-based service here, but fair is fair. That was not offside.
Yeah, well, there again,
Kick it out of bounds. It'll be a
all
throw
that's
in
saying,
for the
it's got to be
Panthers.
the angle we were looking at it too. So maybe we weren't necessarily on that field. It's a hard read sometimes.
Yeah, we don't have the benefit of VAR and the little lines that they draw across
absolutely.
the field, which,
yeah.
you know, from what I've seen, especially watching some of the English Premier League, I don't think the announcers there really have the benefit of it working correctly either, because a lot of times it's like a head scratcher on how they manage to get the call as wrong as they do, having the video replay at their fingertips.
Yeah. Now, I officiated after my years of coaching. I had to wait till I was 5 years out from coaching, and I officiated the KHSAA for a number of years down to Region 3. So, yeah, it's, you know, the ultimate goal in the game for one of these referees is to call as clean a game as possible and really not be noticed. You know, I don't want to have any influence in the game. And I think referees, good referees, that's their mindset.
How tough of that was to get through the paradigm shift of going from coaching to going to being an official or being a line judge?
Really gave me a very good picture and really helped me understand that, you know what, in the back of my mind I always thought, well, they don't want us to win, or they're saying, no, they have nothing to do with anything. The referees are there trying to do a really good job and trying to make the best calls. Really helped me understand the referee mindset a little better once I started calling.
Well, a very bad fourth grade vision test told me that my place was announcing, not officiating. So I think I'll stay up here now. I don't envy that job at all, but we do have a lot of respect for people that do come out here, because we couldn't have the game without them.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's you know, these men and women who officiate or who call football games or basketball games throughout the state of Kentucky, throughout the KHSAA, they are out there working hard. They are actually staying involved in the game because they respect the game and they're trying to help out these young people. And it's some places it's getting hard to find anybody to officiate because of the poor behavior of some poor sportsmanship. And often it's on the times on the parts of the parents. So hats off if you are a conscientious parent and you're a conscientious observer and you are respectful of these officials.
Couldn't have said it better, David.
Ball rolls out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for
Great
the
crossing, going into the bench a little bit, and I think that's kind of worked to the benefit of Frankfurt High, because they haven't been able to more effectively defend their great crossing, not able to play through the middle of the field as they have been.
And like I said, we were at 19 and a half minutes, and said if we could hold this at 4-0, and Frankfurt can carry this and as a 4-0 score into the half, I would build on that. I would talk with, you know, as a coach, say, look, they jumped out early on us. They slipped a couple in, but let's keep on playing. Let's keep on pushing. And there you go. There's a well-struck ball. There's a nice run. Jalea Hatchett.
Hatchett with the shot.
Nice strike.
Almost gets there. Fantastic run by Mia Hatchett.
That was a nice play right there.
Nice job also trying to play opposite side, getting enough power on it. Let's take a look at the replay. That's a fantastic through ball. And
I can't see who served her the ball.
I believe that was number 10, Rebecca Vaught, the senior.
Nice left. Oh, that was a right foot. She switched it to the right. That was well played.
Yeah, that was a nice job by Rebecca Vaught to play the through ball, and then Jalea Hatchett with the right foot.
Moore Tillman made a nice little punch save.
All of a sudden, we're seeing some life for Frankfurt High. I like to see it.
There, yes. You know, all right. We got a clarification on that. Was number 9. That was Mia Kennett with the nice pass, nice through ball. Found Hatchett out there in the lead. Almost. That was exciting. And that's the thing you're going to build on, John.
She disguised that pass so well we didn't even see who hit it.
Yep. it was a nice long through ball and hit her dead stride, and that's kind of what we were talking about. That's how Frankfort is going to capitalize.
Capitalizing in the capital city.
There you go.
Be here all week.
Bing.
And we hope you'll be with us here all week. We're going to be back tomorrow night. We've got the middle half of the brackets for the boys and the girls. We'll have the ladies from Western Hills taking on the ladies from Franklin County. Then in the nightcap, Great Crossings boys are going to take on the Western Hills boys. We'll be here tomorrow night, so make sure you join us here at Sauer Soccer Field on Cable 10. Want to give a quick thank you to our sponsors, David Toll's Auto Pro and J.O. Osborne with Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance. Thank you for your help in helping make this broadcast possible.
It's a fantastic job when you have sponsors in the community that are going to support community activities like this, these athletes that are out here working hard, representing the community and the schools. It's fantastic.
Not to mention those TV crews that are out here working hard. They support us too, and we appreciate it. Great crossing on the attack here. Ball is chipped in. That was a fantastic cross to try to get there, and it was perfect, and just unlucky that nobody was able to get onto that. We had a foul, I believe, and that'll go.
Foul on the play. That'll result in a free kick for the Panthers.
Frankfort High will have a free kick here.
Great crossing took out Rebecca Vaught's legs there, the captain for Frankfort High Lady Panthers there. She rolled up, reacted, nice and calm.
Nice cutbacks and nice footwork again there by Great Crossing. I've noticed with Great Crossing in their attack, a lot of two-footed players, which is so important.
Take the first touch. Anytime you get the first touch, you're going to try to settle it for your second touch. There's your first touch. Second touch is a forward motion, forward pass.
That is number 23, Audrey Addington, on the right side. Playing it across, just rolls all the way across.
Should be a throw-in for Frankfort.
Throw-in for the Panthers.
There you go.
That's the worst spot to be a ball boy at, because it's about 10 feet, and you just have
is there a hill back there?
A stark slope there. That looked like almost a handball right in front of the bench. Frankfort High will have it through.
Played out of bounds, going to walk it straight up the field.
And it bears repeating again as we get to just about the 5-minute mark here. Frankfort High really has settled down, and we are getting into that last 5 minutes of the first half, as you mentioned, David.
Yeah, just a little bit calmer. Now, also, Great Crossing is looking down the road. Nice stop.
Fantastic save that time by Rachel Nichols.
I think Nichols pushed it out there off that right post, I believe. Let's see this well-struck ball.
It's Emma King. That ball had some nasty curve on it. Yeah. Nichols had to lay out for it. Fantastic save.
Yeah, nice stop. Tell you what, several big stops by Rachel Nichols. Otherwise, the score would be much worse than 4-0 at this time.
That is Finley Ison, the freshman, taking the right foot corner. Not able to get it in front of
across the end line. Goal kick. 4:47 to go in the half. Great Crossing is up 4-0, but Frankfort is beginning to show a little bit of light. Had a great run earlier by Frankfort.
And something to add to that, you could say that Great Crossing has gone into their bench, and that's when Frankfort High started to get a little bit of a foothold in this game. But, David, Frankfort High was going into their bench too, so that says something about what you said, the future.
Yes.
And what this team's going to look like next year.
And that's what you can do as a coach. You can say, look, they were bringing in their younger players. We have our younger players in, and you all were hanging with them. We are solid. We're going to be okay. You just got to keep on learning, training, and prepping.
And Frankfort High able to get a shot on goal a couple minutes ago on a nice move and nice counterattack.
And you see how defensively Frankfort was able to force Kaylee Tyson to kind of play that ball across the field, and she couldn't make a turn on it. And that's what you call a negative play. You want them, you want to force defensively the offense to play the ball in a negative direction.
Nichols had to come out of her goal for that one. The first one hit her right in the shin. She able to get a body part in front of it. And They had her out of goal for a little bit, but great crossing that time, unable to capitalize.
A couple nice stops there. Julia Hatcher got in there and forced one back out.
You can tell great crossing has a green light to try to test Rachel Nichols in that Frankfort High goal from far out, and so far she's done an admirable job.
Yes, sir. She made some really nice big stops. There's another one right there. Like I said, if Nichols has not made some of these stops right there, there's about 4 or 5 that were on target, on point, that would have been a goal.
That'll be a goal kick for the Panthers.
And this is kind of impressive right here because you can see what Great Crossing is really trying to do. They're trying to stretch the field from side to side. They're trying to get Frankfort High stretched out, away from each other, out of position. And Frankfort High has done a good job here in the last 10 minutes of really kind of covering behind each other, making sure that they don't leave any huge gaps there. And, you know, they've been able to kind of almost play to a stalemate in that period of time.
Yeah, you know, the standard attack is you're going to attack the flanks and you're going to service the center. If you think in basketball terms in the state of Kentucky, you're going to work the ball around the perimeter. You can try to dump it down to the big man underneath. It's the same type of thing here. You're going to service the perimeter, and you're going to play the ball into the box inside into the 6, see if you can't get a strike on it.
You know, it's funny because when and you know, soccer I think is at a point in this country where it's definitely gained a lot more traction, but still, to some degree, there are a lot of people unfamiliar with the sport, and I think the first inclination for them is to try to maybe compare it to football. And obviously, you know, you're outside, you're on a field, you know, that's called football everywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
But I think basketball is a more apt comparison if you're really trying to kind of understand the game and the phases of play, so to speak.
And I'd say it'd be more appropriate with basketball here. It's really much closer to hockey even, but we don't have as much hockey here. So there you go, nice run.
Nice cutback.
Good effort.
And that was
where Shaw making a nice individual run.
And she gets the call.
She gets the call. Got the free kick right here.
I thought they took it quickly, but Great Crossing was actually just rushing to get people down to get them in position. You see Sawyer Shaw here. She's going to try to cut back with the left foot and just kind of tangling in. That from Great Crossing, that was Madison tackle. That might have been what we call the old professional foul, where you're just trying to
kind of flip across. Yes.
Yeah, it's the lesser of two evils.
Yeah, Tillman had to battle the sun a little bit on that one.
Yeah, I think our camera guys are having to battle the sun a little bit out there too.
So it's a wicked direction. It's just now sitting low, and it's coming hard right across.
And not able to get the bend on that.
Goal kick for the Panthers.
Speaking of the sun, let's take a look here at our camera.
So this is what your goalkeeper's looking into, or actually Franklin, or Great Crossing goalkeeper.
Yeah, that says a lot for
that was Tillman.
Kamora Tillman in the goal there. We're going to stoppage of play, and that might actually just bring us to the end of the half here as we're taking it down.
Count down from
5,
10.
4, 3.
And I don't believe they're going to take this one. They're just going to walk to the benches. And Great Crossing ends the first half here in Game 1 of the 41st District Tournament, up 4-0 on Frankfort High. But the Panthers fighting hard to stay in this one. We'll have halftime highlights and much more. Stay with us here on the Cable 10 Game of the Week.
Game of the Week is brought to you by J.O. Osborne with the Franklin County Farm Bureau. The Franklin County Farm Bureau's J.O. Osborne wishes all of our local teams a healthy, competitive, and successful season. J.O. and Kentucky Farm Bureau have been insuring Frankfort since 1943. With them on your team, when you experience a loss from an accident or storm, it can be a real game changer.
In today's fast-paced housing market, you need realtors with experience who understand that timing is essential when finding the perfect home for the right price. Tim and Rebecca Hubbard with Exit Realty Crutcher are here to ensure that you and your family have a positive experience from start to finish.
Real estate is what we do,
and families are why we do it.
Game of the Week is brought to you by Tim and Rebecca Hubbard with Exit Realty Crutcher. Choose local realtors that treat you like family, because real estate is what we do and families are why we do it.
If your property has trees, you know they add beauty and value, but they also have the potential to do serious damage. That's where the team of pros at Estate Tree Service come in. From trimming and shaping to complete removal, including stumps, the team at Estate Tree Service gets the job done, even in an emergency. Estate Tree Service has been the area's premier tree service since 1957, and our long list of satisfied clients can tell you why. The name you know and trust, Estate Tree Service.
Game of the Week is brought to you by Estate Tree Service. We have a solution for all your tree care needs. Estate Tree Service provides expert tree care and preservation. Call 502-229-5258 for a free estimate.
Shadows are getting a little longer here at Sauer Soccer Field. We've just finished the first half of Game 1 of the 41st District Tournament. Alongside David Daly and the entire FPB crew, I'm John Piesheimer. 4-0 is your score. Great crossing on top of Frankfort High, and here's how they did it. Nice save there by Rachel Nichols, who got a lot of action over there in the Frankfort High goal. And this, I believe, is the score that opened up the game. Is great crossing, going to work early here. And here's the right-footed shot, cut it back across the face of goal. That was a nice finish there by Kaylee Tyson. She had 2 goals in the first half.
First and the third.
And here was Seton Hawkinsmith finding Tyson again, and she just does it with the opposite foot that time. Fantastic goal with the left foot. And there is the goal that almost happened by Cameron Crump. Here's our 4th goal, just some bad luck for Frankfort High in there. A little bit of ping pong action trying to clear the ball, and then it fell. And here is Frankfort High hanging in there, hanging tough, and getting a little bit of reward here, almost getting the goal here, as it's a fantastic run by Jalea Hatchett. Hardly a Hatchet job that time, as she nearly snuck it into the right corner.
Tillman made a good save, otherwise that would have been a 4-1 score.
And then Frankfort High playing a little bit tougher as the half went on, as Rachel Nichols with the nice layout there to keep goal number 5 out of the net. Getting a lot of action there, and she proved to be tough. And that brings us to our score, 4-0. Great crossing on top of Frankfort High, as you see there in the huddle. A lot to build on, and what do you kind of go through here? What's your message to this team at halftime, David?
You know, and John, I kind of alluded to that. We were just under 20 minutes to go in the half, so we were basically about halfway through the first half, and score was 4-0. Things weren't looking too well for Frankfort, and I said, as a coach, you're just going to emphasize the fact that let's lock it up down right now. Let's go. Hit 4-0. They picked up a couple goals early, but let's stay strong here. We'll build on that moving into the second half. So now coach is going to hang his hat on by saying, look, they jumped out early. We battled tough. We had some really great opportunities just this close. We almost stuck one in to make it 3-1. Keep on playing solid D in the back. Rachel, you keep on making some great saves. We'll do this thing as a team. The seniors are stepping up, playing strong, and you just try to build on that for next year.
And you got 40 minutes left in your season regardless. You may as well go out in the right fashion. So we'll see how they do it. Second half action coming up. You're watching the 41st District Tournament here on the Cable 10 Game of the Week.
Game of the Week halftime show is brought to you by Classic Gold. Art-carved class rings are available at Classic Gold Master Jewelers on 859 East Main Street.
Classic Gold Master Jewelers has an amazing selection of jewelry that anyone will love. Classic Gold also provides custom services like pearl restringing, engraving, watch repair, ring resizing, and custom designs. Classic Gold Master Jewelers, 859 East Main Street.
Bob Allen is
Kentucky's Dealmaker. Shop Bob Allen of Frankfort for a winning selection of new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, as well as quality late model pre-owned.
Click and save
at BobAllenFrankfort.com.
Game of the Week is brought to you by Bob Allen. Bob Allen is Frankfort's Dealmaker. Visit Bob Allen's new state-of-the-art showroom at 925 Versailles Road and discover Central Kentucky's best selection of new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram models, as well as pre-owned. Shop BobAllenFrankfort.com.
In 2020, with COVID-19, we had a state mandate shutdown. We relied upon Traditional Bank for their advice and guidance in obtaining the PPP loan. I can appreciate that Traditional Bank is still locally owned. We choose them for health savings accounts. We choose them for any business loan that we need. My name is Dr. Todd Jacobs of Helderman and Jacobs Vision Center. I choose Traditional Bank because they value personal relationships and are highly invested in our community.
Game of the Week is brought to you by Traditional Bank. When your business is looking to win, with tough competition around every corner, you need high performers backing you up. Traditional Bank's local team will stand by your side as a trusted partner, your friendly neighbor, and your biggest fan. It's time to make the switch. Traditional Bank, member FDIC.
Game of the Week is brought to you by Whitehead Hancock. Whitehead Hancock Plumbing has been serving Frankfort families for more than 100 years. You can trust Whitehead Hancock for all your plumbing, heating, cooling, and septic needs. Call them today at 502-227-2213 for 24-hour emergency service or visit their website at whiteheadhancock.com.
FPB knows reliable internet is more important than ever. It lets us work from home, share life with family and friends, and make vital connections online. To help, qualifying customers can now access the new Affordable Connectivity Program and step up to fast, reliable FPB internet at a savings of up to $30 per month. Learn more about this new opportunity. Visit FPB online today.
You can see there's just a little bit of sun peeking over the horizon. The lights are already on, and it's a fantastic night for soccer. We saw what I would call an intriguing first half in the curtain lifter here in the 41st District Tournament as Great Crossing really up early and often on Frankfort High in that first half. But to the credit of the Panthers, Frankfort High hung tough, and really, I think you can say the last 15 minutes or so of that half were kind of even as far as the momentum is concerned.
And from that standpoint, it's even because there was no additional scoring made. All scoring took place within the first 20 minutes of that half. Last goal came in the 20th minute, and that was for a great caution. And we're going to see what this second half brings. So Great Crescent is going to start off, though, with their starters again. And I would say look for the first 5 minutes. They're going to run a high-pressure offense, which means they are going to be running down trying to put as much heat on the Frankfort defense.
And here's something to think about, too. We mentioned it in the first half with Great Crossing's goalkeeper, and now Rachel Nichols from Frankfort High is having to look into that sun. What little of it we do have on the tree line there, but we'll see if it plays into her ability to keep the ball out of her own net.
Yeah, I'd say it looks like maybe another 3 or 4 minutes, and it should sit down behind the trees.
So we've got a foul here. Is running through the back of the Warhawk. There is number 11 Sawyer Shaw.
Sawyer Shaw, yeah. Sawyer just a little bit of edge there.
And that Sawyer Shaw, again, we mentioned just all over the place, having to cover so much distance. They should let those girls have an Apple Watch to get their steps in, so they have a little bit of understanding of how much work they're putting in. Great
and as a senior, that's what she's going to do. She's going to push. She's going to try and lead. She's going to try to do everything she can to try and get that W.
Great Crossing attacking here. That was a nice job of poking the ball out at the last possible second and kind of taking a little bit of the harm there, too, was number 12 for Frankfort High, Lillian Wainscott. Lillian Wainscott.
Now she's done a great job back there as a central back, really coming across, picking up and clearing out balls just like that.
And David, that's the kind of tackle you have to get just right, because
yes.
if you're a second late, that's a penalty, and that's probably a 5th goal for Great Crossing. Fantastic tackle.
She jumped right on top of it and really, it's kind of like you would say the equivalent of a receiver going across the middle. And that's
There's
what
a shot
she did.
From distance. Nick was able to bring
Nichols
that one in.
Yeah, just
and we have officially seen the sun go behind the trees, so that is no longer a factor. They got through those tricky first 3 minutes. We're almost to the 5-minute mark of the second half. As you mentioned, the time when teams are the most likely to score or be scored upon.
First 5, last 5, that's the general rule. Just as a coach, that's what I always pushed. We always try to ramp up the defense and try to pump up the offense. We try to run high pressure. Here comes another run coming from
fantastic
Jillian.
work by Frankfort High. Nice tackle, and then getting the ball out into play, and that's going to be a corner for Frankfort.
Oh,
no, they're going to say a goal kick. I guess it must have bounced back off of Hatchett, but let's take a look at here. That was a fantastic tackle that happened just before we got to it by Kaylee Curry.
And then Curry laid that ball out for her.
Yeah, great pass, and that's Frankfort High when they get the ball being purposeful.
Yeah, it did. It went right off of Hatchett's foot. As great crossing defender played it out. But that was another nice run. And John, that's kind of what we're saying Frankfort was going to have to do, was they're going to have to sit back in defense. They're not going to be able to build that attack through midfield. They're going to look for a nice through ball, a nice long ball, and they're going to run onto it. And I would say it would be Hatchett, it would be Vaught, or it would be Shaw. One of those three, I say, will jump on top of here, and they will bury one before the night's over.
Great Crossing now switching feet there on the left side as Great Crossing
sitting right on top of the 18. Nice job. Good position there by Nichols.
Yeah, it was Gracie Gordon. He took the right-footed shot here, number 11. Let it sit up on there, and Frankfort High is kind of playing back on Great Crossing there and gave her the space to shoot, and that was a nice save, as you mentioned, by Rachel Nichols.
And she looked up. She had time to set, prep, and rip, and it was a nice save on a well-struck ball.
I can do one of those. That's a fantastic shot for goal number 5. And that is something we've seen.
Yes.
That's something we've seen out of all of their goals so far, is just having to reach back and just kind of effort it in there, and just fantastic to be able to get that much power.
Number 11, Gracie Gordon, wasn't it?
Yeah, Gracie Gordon. She had a nice strike earlier. This time just coming across her body and every goal, it seems like, for Great Crossing has just been one of those that you put in the highlight.
Yeah.
Look at this.
They're pulling the ball to the keeper's left. They're pulling Nichols to the left, and then they're hitting the ball back across the grain, back across the net. You're shooting far post.
And again, when in that kind of situation, it's so hard for Nichols to be able to do much about that. So we got to point it out, just in the 35th minute here.
Yep. Yeah, right at 5 minutes.
Great Crossing puts one in.
Yep.
And now they're on the attack again as we click down under that 5-minute mark. That's a shot from distance. That time able to get just a body in front of it. Is Frankfort High still after it, still fighting there. I believe that was Cora Anglin that stopped that shot. And now Frankfort High able to get a little bit of rest.
Defense. Great Crossing just keeps rebuilding, and they're able to play the ball through the midfield.
And one thing they've been able to do is two things. They've been able to just carry the ball right through that Frankfort High defense, and Nichols able to stop that one. Just whatever part of her body she can get on it, manages to cover it up.
Yes.
But one thing Great Crossing has been able to do that's been impressive is just their ability to, number one, carry the ball when they're coming towards goal and just get past defenders. And they're not doing it really a lot of the times by beating them with a little, with speed or things. They're just like being physical and, keeping the ball at their feet. But also in a situation where they've got their back to the balls, we've got a foul here, and that's going to go the other way, is Emily McClavick, the freshman there, hitting the turf. But one thing is she's clattered into by Hawkins. I just like saying that word. Yeah. They've been able to, when they have their back to the Frankfort High goal and possession, they're able to turn so well, and that's not an easy skill to develop, especially when you've got a defender on your back.
Yeah. And what they're doing is they are using it. They're playing the ball away and then doing a quick turn. So they're making a negative turn and then turning it into a positive field game. But they're also playing space without the ball. And that's something you will look and see. Whoever has the ball, they know that there's going to be somebody to the right or somebody to their left that they can then pass the ball to.
That was a nice job there by Frankfort High. Jalea Hatchett and number 33, Cora Anglin, playing some of those passing lanes and able to get the ball for a brief second. Grace Crossing had a shot just there, but another save by Rachel Nichols.
Gracie Gordon struck that one about 28 yards or 28
We've definitely seen her have the power in that foot to be able to score from anywhere. Attacking down the left-hand side now is Frankfort High.
A little bit of pressure coming from Mia Kennett.
I'll say this for Great Crossing. Only really one time have they really gotten hit on the counter, because that's what you have to worry about when you're playing so much in the opponent's half. That back line for Great Crossing is pretty much playing right at midfield.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
And that was, I believe that was, again, carried it right into the goal, but Frankfort High able to collapse and keep the ball out of the net.
Yeah. Wayne Scott and Stumbo did a really good job back there on the on that defensive possession, just kind of shepherding the ball away, allowed Nichols just kind of scoop it up, but they did a really good job on that last little.
Crossing. Make sure you stay with us. Frankfort High boys, who have quite the team this year, coming in already having won the All-A Classic this year. And Frankfort High boys are sitting up in the standings in the 11th region. I don't have the bracket in front of me, but they are the one seed coming in this tournament. That's a fantastic goal from distance. And that is number 12. Cameron Crump with the goal, and take a look at this again. Great Crossing getting number 6 here in impressive fashion. Crump.
She looked up, eyed it, and measured far post.
Did what you said, settled it with the left, hammered it with the right. Fantastic goal and put it exactly where she wanted to. Great cross, it's just great shooting.
First touch, she just set herself up. Yes, sir.
6-0 now, and starting to get a little bit out of hand, unfortunately, for Frankfort High. And it's not going to get easier anytime soon as Great Crossing back on the attack again here.
Just moving well to space. Frankfurt's battling. They are doing the best. There's no quit in them yet. They haven't rolled over. Nobody's stopped. They're still making some plays. But Great Crossing is a solid ball club. You know, they're sitting there. They are 3-0 in district for a reason, and you know they're 11-5-0 overall. So you know they are solid. They're a solid ball club.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see Western Hills. They unfortunately lost a lot off of last year's team, and I think the record kind of reflects that. And just overall, I think it's kind of been a rebuilding year for all these 41st District teams. Great Crossing had a couple of seniors that they had to replace. As we mentioned, they've had a younger team, but kind of a little bit of the caboose of the 11th region. Unfortunately, Franklin County sitting at number 14, being the second seed. And then you've got Western Hills coming in just above Frankfort High as 17th and 18th teams in the 11th region. Just again, a rebuilding year, and that's what high school sports are. A lot of times you just have to kind of...
Very young, yeah. Very young district, yes. Very much a youth movement. And just like we talked earlier, even Great Crossings is a young team. And they have some firepower in sophomores and freshmen.
And Great Crossing, again, you know, it's been about, here's the right-footed shot, just wide. Great Crossing, again, it goes with saying, too, that they've been in the 41st District for about 5 or 6 years now. For years, we had Woodford County, and a thing that I think really doesn't get mentioned a lot is in Frankfort, you've got talent and ability on both the boys and the girls side being split 3 directions.
Yes.
In Woodford County, those kids, a lot of the times have played alongside each other since they were
He would run a high-pressure D for about 3 minutes. It will make you were tight, you were closed, and you closed in on them. And that's kind of what Great Crossing is running. They're putting a lot of pressure on Frankfort, and they're capitalizing on it whenever they can recover the ball. They're also striking from distance.
Yeah, just some fantastic.
They got the ability, yeah.
We had some goal of the season candidates already. Is Frankfort High going to get a couple of fresh substitutes in here? We've got number 8, Hannah Hayes,
Hannah Hayes, freshman, and number 25, Amelia Wilkerson, freshman, also coming in.
And to kind of get back to my point, we had Woodford County in here for years with kids that were playing for Woodford County. A lot of times playing together their entire, the entire time that they played the game, and the talent's going in one direction, as opposed to Franklin County where you have the talent going in 3 directions. Well, now you have Great Crossing in here, who shares a lot of the same talent with Scott County High School, albeit in different districts, both in the same region. And it's really it's almost a testament to Great Crossing that they've been able to kind of pick up where Woodford County left off on the girls' side in running this tournament.
Correct. And it's just
from a figurative sense.
Yeah. And if you're playing club ball with somebody, that looked like it may have been offside.
Yeah, they were calling for the offside.
Kaylee Curry was trying to call for it. She was signaling for it, but
yeah, that
flag went up. That's why you play it through to the end.
And Kaylee Curry, to her credit, did chase that down, but almost a problem there was created by that. And Kaylee Curry is the lead scorer for this Frankfort High team, and it says a lot about where you're headed when your lead scorer is a freshman.
Yes, absolutely. And when you've got when you're returning, Frankfort's returning 15 of 19 or 14 of 19 players for next year, so that bodes well too.
Yeah, your second and third leading scorer are going to be back next year.
Correct.
If they decide to continue on with this, your goalkeeper's got 2 more years, Rachel Nichols. These players are only going to get better, and it's a tough one tonight. You've got a lot of it going in the opposite direction, but also you're getting a lot of valuable experience.
Absolutely. Just like we said, just substitute in a couple of freshmen, so they're going to get some good game time experience. They're going to get district tournament experience, and that's valuable moving into next season. Similarly, you're going to look at this score and you're going to say, no, it's not what we wanted, but we're going to build upon the positives that we did see.
One thing I noticed just now, and I've seen it a couple times with Rachel Nichols, is her ability to stop the ball dead with her shins. Yes. And it's a lot of times for a goalkeeper, I think that's one of the worst places you want a ball to hit, because you never have much of an idea of where it's going to bounce. But she's done that 2 or 3 times to the point that I have to think it's purposeful now, and she just has the kind of confidence to bring the ball down to a stop.
I agree. She's really played a very solid game. She made some really big saves.
Yeah, not an enviable task that's in front of her right now.
That was a soft little weird touch there coming in from Great Crossing. It kind of ball bounced up in the air and hit. Had a lot of English backspin on it. And almost got past Nichols, but she scooped it up.
And we talked about defenders getting nervous and goalkeepers getting nervous and starting to kind of play in panic mode. That's the kind of ball that sends you into a panic right there.
Correct. Yes. And also, what coach is going to try and talk to the players is like, settle down and let's keep walking the ball out. Don't just kick it wildly. Go ahead and look to play the space and play it to your teammates. Let's go ahead and bring this ball out of the defensive third, work it through midfield.
That's a great job.
Well placed, well positioned.
Bailey Tyson just kind of turning the defender for Frankfort High in knots. Let's take a
So
look
you've
at this
got
on
a
the
20-goal scorer on the season really coming in your back door, and Rachel Nichols was right where she needed to be.
20-goal scorer taking on a freshman in Hannah Hayes, who just saw Rachel Nichols kind of walk by her that time.
And those are those things where you're going to learn, because you're going to get that much better. You're going to get better by playing better competition, and that's what they're going to learn tonight.
And it's a tough thing too, because if you have inexperienced players or players that are younger playing in defense there, I think they're going to probably lean more towards not wanting to rush in, not wanting to take a chance at getting a penalty. But unfortunately, you were conceding that space to the attacker. Frankfort High may have something on here now.
Nice through push. Try to put pressure on her.
And taking the ball there, Jalea Hatchett sticking with it. She tried to lay it off there for another Panther. And
Hatchett took a nice shot through ball. Almost had a little opportunity there.
Great Crossing playing a little counter. Now we haven't seen him do that so far. That is
Camry Smith making a run upfield. Midfielder rolling down, covering her defensive position.
And that's one of those things too. I think anytime we have a score line that tends to be this lopsided and possessions that tend to be this lopsided, one thing you have to remember is the fact that Great Crossing, in this case, being up so much, it's easy for those defenders and it's easy for that goalkeeper. That's a fantastic through ball.
Yep.
Hold that point for a second as we're going to get another goal here, and that is, I believe, the second goal on the game for Meredith Turner. No, it's her first goal of the game. Fantastic goal.
Meredith Turner, yeah.
And I believe she did have a goal in the first half. When you knock so many of them in, it tends to we tend to lose count, but that's unfortunate for Rachel Nichols there in the goal.
She's sitting.
She got a hand to it, but just
7 yards out of the, right there in the goal crease, 7 yards out. That's a tough ask to get anybody to stop that.
Yeah, that takes a lot of arm strength to be able to push that wide of the goal, and Turner was able to get enough power behind that I think it wasn't going to matter what Rachel Nichols got on it. But back to my point, when you're up this much, there can tend to be a little bit of, I don't want to call it complacency, but the tendency to switch off a little bit. And to the credit of Great Crossing, they haven't really done that. As we see a player that I've noticed putting in a lot of good effort here in the second half, Lillian Wainscott, the sophomore, coming back in.
Agreed, completely. Yeah, and it is, but that's also where a coach then will bring in some of the youth, and he'll let the younger players play, give them that valuable time to try and keep the energy flow up. Talk and coach through the senior players, the starters, and try to get them to help see what's going on and make them better athletes by understanding the game even further.
Here's Turner again, this time able to take out the danger, and a nice job of defending that time by Kaylee Curry. We have seen flashes of Frankfort High able to do some really nice things. And you got a young team, and they're going to make mistakes, and they're going to get scored on. But Frankfort High, we see, I think you see the makings of a pretty serviceable, good team in the making here if they can just kind of continue on the path they're on.
Yeah, and as you know, it's also when you start thinking about too, as far as the school sizes, that has a little bit to do also.
There's goal number 9 with the pool. Tori Skaggs that time with the right
ball
foot.
from distance too. Number 7 there. Goal number 8, 9.
And really, this one's sort of unfortunately getting out of hand as Great Crossing getting closer to that 10-goal mark. That one went right in the 5-hole.
They've tallied 5 this half, 4 the first half.
And that's another one of those highlight reel goals. And Meredith Nichols, not much she can, or excuse me, Rachel Nichols, not much she can do is just, bad day at the office, unfortunately.
Face a lot
when the goals are going through your legs like that, there's not a lot.
And this ground is really dry, and it makes that ball skip a little bit. Nice hard surface, that ball just takes off.
We're just over halfway through the second half, and one more goal by Great Crossing is going to truncate this half by quite a bit, as we will hit the 10-goal mercy rule mark. And that was the score line the first time these two teams met back on September 7th. But take nothing away from Frankfort High. They've fought hard, but Great Crossing just an impressive team. And that time, Rachel Nichols able to.
Very talented, yeah. Very, very talented ball club. But it was a game fight so far, and it's been a game fight. I haven't seen anybody stop. I haven't seen anybody slow down and walk off. I haven't seen anybody hanging their head for Frankfort High School. So you've got to appreciate that. Coach Rogers has got to be thinking down the road. He's got some tools and he's got some things he can work with and he can build with.
And during his time here, we've seen, and it's one of those things that maybe the score line doesn't quite reflect yet, but we've seen this Frankfort High team look so much better and be able to go out there and perform, and you can really tell how they're set up and what they're trying to accomplish. Again, I think the framework is there, and it's to the credit of Coach Rogers that you're able to see that. We get a look at the Great Crossing bench there. They on the verge of moving on to the finals, which will be Thursday night. They will take on the winner of tomorrow night's opener against either Western Hills or Franklin County. That should be an interesting game. Both of those teams similar in record. Western Hills occupied that spot last year, and that was an impressive Western Hills game. Unfortunately, if you remember last year, the two of us were really looking forward to both of those games in the finals, and unfortunately our schedule conflicts with the weather delay that we had, because we got to see about half of the girls game that night, prevented us from being able to watch and bring you those games. And hopefully we don't have a similar situation crop up here, because
I forgot about that. Those were some bad storms last year during the district tournament. You're right.
Yeah, and we got to see it, the first half play out between Great Crossing and Western Hills, and I really think Western Hills had something for him last year. And if I remember correctly, our broadcast partner Chris Cole, his daughter was on Western Hills team, so he was giving us the report the night of, because our team was actually at Western Hills on football duty, and he gave me the heads up on that. Apparently it was just a heartbreaking game. Western Hills was in it the whole way, but both those teams going on to the 11th region tournament. And last year in the 11th region tournament, Great Crossing unfortunately losing a heartbreaker in the opening game to Madison Southern. And Great Crossing just on the verge of putting this one to bed early.
It was a well-served ball right through the middle. Attempt to get ahead on it. Just came a little short.
Yeah,
it's a well-served ball from number 16.
On the side, she had time, and again,
Kaylin Crump.
Again, fantastic fundamentals and fantastic skills there.
Turner just missed it,
yeah. You look at how they're setting up their body. A lot of times, Great Crossing, just their players doing it exactly how you draw it up as a coach.
Correct.
And when the fundamentals are sound like that, that's one less thing you have to teach. That's one less thing you have to instruct going on through the season. You can start to focus more on strategy than on the basics.
Right. But those are those basics that you're going to keep on focusing on. You're going to hit those over and over and over again. You know, if you go and you watch a Premier League warm up, they're going to work right foot, left foot, up, down. They're going to work in and out. They're going to work headers. They're going to work ball skills. It's going to be the simple, tight footwork stuff. It's not going to be extraordinary. It's not going to be exotic. It's going to be the basics. And they're going to continue working at no matter what level you are. So if you're a young soccer player out there, learn, work the basics. Work both feet, work the right, work the left. Get comfortable with the ball in all different shapes and all different occasions.
If you're a member of Liverpool, my beloved Liverpool, why don't you work on defending every once in a while? I don't know what's happening there.
We're 15-minute mark left in the second half. It's 9-0. Great Crossing is on top.
That's Julia Baker, who scored in the first half. That one bouncing in front of goal. And
goal kick.
Now they're going to give them official pointed towards the corner. A little bit of confusion there. I guess they're going to make it a goal kick after.
Touch with his AR, yep. AR said, nope, that's a goal kick. Yeah, it just kind of deflected off the Great Crossing player. Went right across the end line. Kaylee Curry going to drive this ball deep.
I was bringing in the suffering of Liverpool fans and not getting a whole lot of pity from our director, Zach Hubbard, who is a diehard Tottenham Hotspur fan, but not the best weekend for them either. But Zach's going to have a pretty good weekend here in a couple weeks. Our director is getting married, so congratulations to Zach and his fiance and the entire Hubbard family and the entire FPV family.
It's fantastic.
Roll out of bounds and be throw-in for Frankfurt High.
Frankfurt High trying to stick around at this point. It's kind of a pride thing. You definitely want to try to keep them out of the goal. If you can, you want this game to go the distance. You want to kind of go out without having that happen. And there's some, moral victories are, I think it's kind of subjective on how much value you give those, but I do think it means something.
Yeah. But it's something you can try to build upon. You're constantly, as a coach, you're constantly motivating. You're trying to look for positives, even though it might be not the results you want, but you're going to look for the things that you can build upon. And if it was a 10-0 game last time that they played, if they make it through the full time, then there's a victory right there. There's something you can build upon.
One thing I'll say for Great Crossing is the way they play requires a lot of trust on the part of the coach and the part of the players in each other, because they're pressing a lot, they're committing bodies forward, and that leaves a lot of space to cover if you lose possession.
Yes, absolutely. And when you have that high pressure offense, it means that you are open for a quick counter.
Got a substitution in here for Frankfurt High. That is number 19, Emily McClavick, freshman, coming back in.
Yeah, Frankfurt had a couple good opportunities, had a couple nice counters. Hatchett had probably the best opportunity that Frankfurt had for the night. She drove a nice ball right across the crease. Tillman, the goalkeeper for Great Crossing, had to punch it out. And that was right about the last 20 minutes of the first half.
Ball's kicked out of bounds. It'll be a Warhawk throw in.
Shaw continues pushing up top. Hatchett continues pushing up top. So there is still fight there. There is no quit.
Here comes Great Crossing. In a similar fashion, Great Crossing would like to take the momentum from ending this game early, and
absolutely,
you know, every little bit of fresh legs helps.
Right. They're going to look at everything else. Yeah, whatever, you know, however much they can take a break, however much they can get ahead.
Oh, big hit that time taken by, that is Wayne Scott there, who kind of tumbled, and I think she's kind of wondering where the call is here. Let's take a look at the replay. And I think that was one of those, may have been a little bit of nudge in the back there.
A little bit of a shoulder there.
Did eventually get the call. And that's, you know, that's what you teach your attacker to do in that situation, to try to create space. You maybe don't want him to be, maybe like a little bit more subtlety in it, but.
Good pressure there.
Ball's kicked out of bounds. That'll be a throw in for the Warhawks.
And Warhawks will get a throw in here. Pretty good crowd for the opening game. A lot of people traveling from Great Crossing. It's a pretty quick drive, just east or west, excuse me, they're driving. And it's Great Crossing. That was a tricky one.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a great job by Rachel Nichols. It would have been easy to overcommit.
It looked like it got a little bit of a deflection, which then caused that ball to kick back to her right.
Yeah, if you watch the replay here,
yes,
it goes
right
off of the back of,
because the shot was going to go
Curry.
Shoot to the far side left, to her left side of Nichols, but it wound up being picked up and played off of Nichols' right side.
Yeah, it was a nice shot by Nichols to kind of keep her feet planted and not dive too early. And
nice reaction, yes.
Frankfurt High still alive here in this game. In terms of the game going the distance.
Got 9 minutes, just over 9 minutes, 9:50. Score right now is 9-0, but Frankfurt is still trying to hang tough. They're trying to take this into the completion, full time, and build from there. Honestly, John, I really expected to see Frankfurt find the back of the net this half, do a quick counter and wind up with it.
There's a chance they might find the back of their own net there, but able to kind of get everything calmed down. And that was Ella Stumbo there, who
shepherded the ball right to her. Yeah.
So you see our friends with Community Q in the background. Gonna be paying them a visit between games. Hopefully there's a little bit left. I don't know, I'm not. Unfortunately, there are some of us that can't. We can't exist on popcorn alone. Unlike our colleague, my buddy Clint. Hope he's able to watch out there. And make sure you tune in next week after this tournament. We are off this week for the game of the week as far as football is concerned, but we'll be back with you next week for game of the week. It's been an interesting season so far in football.
Jalea Hatch just made a nice little run. I thought she was able to run it down that line. As long as the whole ball doesn't cross, then she can still continue to play. So she kept on running until they finally whistled her as the ball out of bounds. But it almost had a nice little run going.
Here comes great crossing again. Taking the ball all the way in. Bang, bang play. Just kind of bulldozing her way in that time was Audrey Addington, the freshman for great crossing, and Frankfort High able to muscle the ball away from her that time. That's a nice job of running with the ball, though, and a little bit of a shirt pull at the end.
Wayne Scott came across and just kind of took it off her foot also. So
yeah,
some real solid D.
Yeah, I've seen some impressive things out of individuals for Frankfort. And one thing I wanted to bring attention to, for kind of looking for positives to glean from this, is the Panthers on the attack now. They definitely have a strategy on the few times that they are able to get the ball and kind of turn around. You can tell what they're trying to do. They're trying to get Jalea Hatchett out in space and get her to kind of use her speed, maybe play that ball over the top. And in years past, we've seen this team, if they manage to clear the ball, it's just kind of all hands on deck. We're just trying to clear it, and there's no real strategy or cohesive plan that you can work out that they're trying to do. They're just trying to pass it to the nearest person. You can see that there's a strategy translated, and you can see an attempt to put that strategy into practice.
Play,
and unfortunately, you just run into kind of a buzzsaw tonight in great crossing.
And they're solid. I mean, great crossing, solid defensively too. They are applying that pressure. They are not giving them an inch. They're not giving Frankfort anything easy. And but that's really what you want to see. You want to see good, solid play. You're going to want to see everybody give their best foot and play as hard as they can. And that's really what we're seeing tonight. We're also seeing a very clean, very sportsmanlike game. We're not seeing any behind the play action. We're not seeing any unsportsmanlike behavior at all.
Frankfort High with a little bit of space to work in here now.
Sawyer Shaw trying to find a spot.
Shaw takes a bump. As soon as you said it, David.
Yep.
I don't think there was any intent in that. I think it was just kind of two players trying to occupy the same space at the same time.
A little bit of a charge, a little bit of a shoulder charge.
And
playing there, she kind of clears it.
Yeah, eyes on the ball.
She's holding
right
her
there.
ground. Yep.
So, a little bit of frustration there, and Sawyer Shaw taking a hit there, and you don't like to see that. The senior, you hope she'll be able to kind of finish the year out on the field.
You get a knee to the fat part of that thigh, that's going to be it's going to be tender.
Is there a thin part to the thigh? I don't know.
I'll tell
Not
you
for
what,
me.
No, that's true.
Free kick for
Yeah, right on front of that quad. Stepping over top of the ball can be Kaylee Curry, the freshman, 8 goals on the season, 3 assists.
See what she can do to get one back here late.
Put a little pressure on. Nice ball, nice ball.
Oh, nearly
close.
There on the far post. Again, you can tell exactly what they're trying to do, and just inches away from getting that into a place where you can threaten that goal.
That was well placed. That was a nice little set piece.
I believe we might have a backup keeper here for great crossing.
I believe so, yes, sir.
And, I mean, at this point, game's not in doubt. You definitely, if you're great crossing and you're Coach Bowling over there, you want to make sure that you're not taking any undue risk of injury anything that would be just silly. I mean, at this point, you've got 5 minutes left. You're not really gaining anything by getting another goal.
I'd say that's Hannah Baird, the freshman. Great crossing in between the pipes. Very good clear, very, very good clear there.
Again, that is Lillian Wainscott. We called her names a few times tonight.
Those
what, David?
Those orange shoes stand out, don't they?
Oh, yeah. You know what, David?
Yes.
We've got under 5 minutes left.
There you go. Final 5.
Great crossing, going to end it early. Threatening here. The youngsters for great crossing. Trying to get this one across the finish line here early. Another nice play by Wainscott to stop the shot in.
And you see the great crossing player was going to try and pull it to the right, to her right. goalkeeper's left and then try to strike the ball, pull it across her body.
9-0, great crossing with, you can pretty much say, both feet in the finals of the 41st District. That'll be Thursday night against either Franklin County or Western Hills. Great Crossing trying to defend once again their win last year in this tournament. They are up 9-0, threatening again here. And Frankfort High going to end their season with a record of 2-13-2 on the season. It's another nice clear out by Wayne-Scott. That will bring their record, including regular season in the 41st District, to 0-4.
District play.
But hanging tough. They
still playing, still battling, still looking for movement, still looking for the ball.
Yeah, a lot to be proud of here.
Yes.
And we've got 3 minutes left. Warhawks.
And Coach Rogers will talk to these young players. He'll talk to these the remaining 14 players off that roster, and they will continue and they will keep on playing. You know, and part of what I think sometimes is lost in high school athletics is that it's not necessarily about the wins and losses. It's about playing on a team. It's about learning teamwork. It's about learning effort and reward. It's also learning that just because you work hard doesn't mean that it's always going to go your way. That sometimes you're going to face adversity, but you're going to bounce back and you're going to recover. Because Coach is going to tell them the sun's going to come up, the birds are going to sing tomorrow. The days, you know, things aren't over. Tomorrow is going to be Tuesday, and regardless of what happens in the results here, we're going to pick our head up. We're going to walk in that school proud that we play for.
That's a good point,
Frankfort
David.
High School.
And I mean, from my experience playing almost an entire season of high school soccer with Lincoln County back in the 90s, there's one statistical record. They have 1 assist. Holding on to that. But, you know, I couldn't begin to tell you what our record was, but I can tell you, you know, how much fun we had on the road trips.
Absolutely.
How much fun we had on the bus trips. You know,
it's about your teammates.
Having to paying your dues as a freshman on the, you know, having to be on ball retention duty, having to carry the bags full of the soccer balls around. As we have it, look at the replay here, Frankfort High, trying to just maybe fashion a chance at goal before the end. Nice little tuck and roll there. Yeah. I think she just wanted a little bit of props. Did number 34 there. Madison Tapple just wanted a little bit of credit for a nice little tumbling maneuver. So, and you know, obviously it's one of the hardest things, and you kind of answered a question I was getting ready to ask. Is Frankfort High has a shot? Can they turn it around? Great crossing, able to clear at that time.
Good effort, nice ball.
But you know what the coach says, and this is one of the hardest things the coach has to do, is, you know, kind of figure out how to end the season on a high note when your season ends with the loss, as it does, and you know, 99% of the time for the teams out here, it is going to end with the loss. And you know,
there's one team's champion.
You know, looks like in all likelihood, you know, we still have one game to play, but Great Crossing looks like they have a great chance to repeat its 41st district champion.
Great Crossing's a solid ball club. It depends on what happens tomorrow night.
Yeah, and you know, they've got to, like, depending on the draw, they've got to like where their chances stand in the region, because if you look at Great Crossing's region record, they are 6-4 in the region, and that one's going to bring this game to a close. And Frankfort High
took it full time.
Yeah, they went the distance, and that's something they can be proud of. But in the end, Great Crossing wins, and wins big, 9-0 over Frankfort High, and Frankfort High's season will come to an end. Great Crossing moving on to take on the winner of Franklin County and Western Hills. That game will be tomorrow night right here at Sauer Soccer Field. We'll be back in just a little bit with highlights, and to put a bow on Game 1 of the 41st District Tournament, you're watching the Game of the Week.
The Game of the Week Play of the Game is brought to you by Bill McCoy Insurance Agency, celebrating over 47 years in business. With over 15 companies to shop and collectively over 100 years of experience, call, visit us, or request quotes on BillMcCoyInsuranceAgency.com.
You look pretty busy, friend. Why try and manage that much insurance by yourself? A local trusted choice independent insurance agent can guide you through it. We'll help with the research, help determine your coverage needs at the right prices, assist with claims, and adapt to your family's needs as they change at no extra cost to you. So, we'll do your insurance. You just do you.
Game of the Week is brought to you by Esprit Credit Union. Esprit Credit Union wishes all of our local teams a great season. Score $5 for your school while showing your support with a spirited debit card, featuring your school's colors and mascot. Who will raise the most? Open an Esprit Spirited account today and let the rivalry continue. Federally insured by NCUA.
Esprit Credit Union wishes all our local teams a great season. Score $5 for the high school of your choice simply by opening a Spirited account featuring your school colors and mascot on your debit card. Show your support. Flyers, Panthers, or Wolverines. Who will raise the most? Go to Esprit.org today. Choose wisely. Western Hills, Franklin County, Frankfort High. Let the rivalry continue. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Game 1 of the 41st District Girls Tournament is in the books. Great Crossing up big on Frankfort High, and they'll go on. It's time for our Bill McCoy play of the game, and take a look at this.
Well struck ball, I tell you what.
Cameron Crump with the play of the game.
Big right foot there.
Now it's time for our player of the game, brought to you by Esprit Credit Union, and our player of the game with 3 goals, getting the hat trick, is Kaylee Wilson for the Lady Warhawks, and did it in fantastic fashion. Here, David.
Tell you what, she really played each of these goals. Was playing off and then bringing the ball back across her body.
That's a
well-coached ball player.
Yeah, just love watching anybody that has such good form.
Yeah, and when you get side net, you know you're playing well.
Fantastic goals and a fantastic outing for Great Crossing. They'll move on to take on the winner of Frankfort High, or Franklin County, in Western Hills. And that'll do it for us in game 1. But guess what? 2-for-1 deal tonight. We've got another game coming at you, the boys. And it'll be Frankfort High taking on Franklin County, the crosstown rivalry. And you'll want to keep it right here with us. We've got more action coming up. Stay with us here on the Cable 10 Game of the Week.
And now the goal for the be another goal for the Warhawks. Ball is deflected.